Good morning. Today is Reformation Sunday. Today commemorates 500 years since Martin Luther formally protested corrupt church practices by nailing his 95 Theses to the church door, challenging the church to open debate. I know that there are other Protestants that also celebrate the Reformation of the church, but we Lutherans have the pride of knowing that we had the theological moxie to get a church reformation going. Lutherans are the ones with an angry little monk who drank and swore and gave the medieval Catholic Church practices a black eye for taking over the job of salvation from God. During October, between Oktoberfest and Reformation Sunday, Lutherans are feeling pretty good. So, all across the nation this Sunday, shy Lutherans will be grinning at their shoes, proud of ourselves. So today, you're going to hear a thorough explanation of each of his 95 points, one by one. This will only take till 6 o'clock. No, I'm kidding. No. All right, I'll preach on our psalm for today, our psalm. A gentler point of pride for Lutherans, besides all that theological moxie, is our love for music and singing. Thank you, choir, for leading us in that wonderful part of worship. Lutheran churches are known for being a place where you can go and sing in harmony. Historians say that Martin Luther, had he not been a reformer of the church, we would still know who he was because of his hymns. He was adept at taking deep theological truths and adapting them to musical tunes that everyone knew, which was bar tunes. Every Reformation Sunday, Lutherans sing an old ditty by Herr Dr. Luther, "A Mighty Fortress is Our God." And today I'd like to explore Psalm 46, the psalm on which that hymn is based. Psalm 46 is a song because they sang it originally. It's a song about sin and salvation, about rebellion and redemption. Creation rebels against its creator, and our loving God responds with redemption and restoration. If what Reformation Sunday celebrates is God restoring the church from having gone down our own human wayward path, then we can understand how a song based on a psalm of redemption and restoration is just the kind of thing to sing. Psalm 46 is a story of humanity going down its own path to its own frightful ends, and God intervening, setting us along the path he's laid out for us, and rescuing us from the troubles we get ourselves into. Psalm 46 has 3 stanzas. There are 3 different parts to it, and then a refrain in between. The first stanza is verses 1 through 3 of the psalm, and we hear that the mountains shake and the waters roar and foam. Creation itself, all of it, all of us, the whole world, is in rebellion against its creator. The problem that God has to contend with is bigger than human indifference or human arrogance or one of us lying and cheating another. The whole created order is unraveling. God created the world good, but fire and hurricanes and cancer and death itself has broken in to God's peaceful garden. It is from here that Martin Luther gets the line, "Hordes of devils filled the land, all threatening to devour us. You are not the devils." The whole world, all of it, is filled with something that just doesn't want to follow God's plan. God says, "This, stay over here," and it doesn't stay over there. You behave in this way. And all of it filled in a tumult of chaos. However, God is our refuge and strength, or in the words of Martin Luther, a mighty fortress is our God. And while the problem is bigger than any one of us, God's priority is to protect us in the chaos, to see us through to safety. To see us through to safety, despite whatever that is. Verses 4 through 6 make up the second stanza, where we are introduced to the idea that a fortress, a city of God, protects the inhabitants from the chaos that surrounds it. Outside the city, mountains shake and waters roar and foam, but inside the city, there is a river whose streams make glad the city of God. Outside the city, creation is in chaos, but inside there is a God who provides gladness, serenity, prosperity, all the things that come with living according to God's will and with God by your side. God has made the city a holy habitation for the Most High. Rebellion and chaos is outside, but inside you are safe. Inside you are protected. Inside you're loving God's arms. Inside you're loving God's city. You are safe. Then the threat intensifies. The psalm introduces the nations as national and ethnic and militaristic threats that threaten the city. Nations are in uproar. All creation is fallen and in rebellion, but human sin and rebellion are now being highlighted. The threat against us, against which God protects us, is us. Our ambitions, our desires for control. Luther interprets the intensification as the old satanic foe has sworn to work us woe. On earth he has no equal. No strength of ours can match his might. We are not big enough, strong enough to protect ourselves from all that is out there. We are not big enough, we are not strong enough to protect ourselves from our darker sides, our more destructive inclinations. The third stanza of the psalm, verses 8 through 10, that's where we get the ultimate victory that we are hoping for and expecting from our good and great God. He makes war cease to the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the shields with fire. God doesn't just win a battle. He doesn't just win a war. He wins a lasting peace, eternal prosperity, the end of all wars and injustice and hatred forever and ever. Amen. This promise is a bigger accomplishment, a bigger goal than any human leader can ever promise you. This is something that is not capable to be accomplished by our hands. Peace forever. Friendship that is never betrayed, that never lets you down. Everything that you've always wanted, all the good and the love that you've wanted for those you love, finally accomplished. Because you never could, but God can. Verse 8 of Psalm 46 says, "Come, behold the works of the Lord." Our response to God's victory is to proclaim what God is doing for us. We are to sing. We do this because all the nations and all creations are invited to participate, celebrate, and enjoy the benefits of God's victory. Our God is not an exclusive, private club just for a select few. Our God says, "Sing of my goodness, so that all the world can know and come and enjoy the benefits of the city. So that all can be safe, not just you. I am exalted among the nations, God says. I am exalted in the earth. We proclaim and sing so the whole world knows that God's love and protection is for them too. We sing to proclaim, to call others to the goodness that we enjoy. We are to say, even to our enemies, those who are outside our fortress, who assailed us and caused us chaos and troubles, we are to say to them, come and see, experience for yourself the peace that awaits all people inside God's love, inside the city of God, inside the fortress that is there to protect you too. Psalm 46 depicts a city and a refuge where we are all safe. This message is especially appropriate for us to hear on Reformation Sunday. And the message that we really need to hear is in the two refrains, the verses 7 and 11. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Our refuge, our fortress, is not a city at all. It is not something made of human hands and bricks and mortar. Our refuge is God. Our security is not stacked high with walls made by human hands. It's not in guns or ammo. It's not in church buildings that we rent or sell, but God. God is the only thing worth putting your safety in. God is the only thing out there that will see us through this day and the next and the next and the next, forever and ever. On Reformation Sunday, we celebrate the theological truth that our salvation is not found in the church, Catholic or Lutheran, or any human institution, synodical or congregational, but in God alone. That was the Reformation. To focus on God alone and stop being distracted by human plans or human schemes or human anything. God alone. God deserves your trust. A mighty fortress is our God. God is our refuge and strength. The hymn promises this, the psalm promises this, and in a larger sense, the entire Bible promises this, that God alone is the ultimate and final refuge for when we get caught out in the storms of life. On this promise we must stand. There is no other promise that I can give you. God help us. Amen.